Hi everybody, my name is Cedric Rusenga. I'm the new Information System Manager for Fmart Inc. company uh, across Australia, and today I will present you a new project of a small shopping trolley across Australia. So in this presentation we will talk about many things. First of all, I will I will give you a background of the company and the way the smart shopping trolley project came in. After that, we'll talk a bit about the business process. We will also talk about the advantages of this project for consumers and retailers. We will also talk about the disadvantages. We will abort the resulting in the business process. I will give you some information about the resources. We will talk about the cost and benefit, and I will give you a spreadsheet and an analysis about it. We will do a sensitive analysis of the different scenario possibles, and to conclude, I will give you some recommendation for the projects. So let's start by giving you some background about the company and the project. Fmart Inc. Has decided to implement a new project on fabrication and distribution of smart shopping trolley across Australia. Within its 400 subsidiary supermarket. This smart shopping trolley technology will help customers in the store by adding up the cost of items at the same time that they are placed in their supermarket trolley. It will also help shoppers to locate the item in the stores, the quantity needed when they enter or select a particular receipt. The CEO of the company, Mark Robinson, have decided to make a pilot project within his 10 grocery stores, 4 in Sydney, 3 in Melbourne, 2 in Brisbane, 1 in Perth, and 1 in Canberra. This project has been inspired by the product Win created in 2012 by the French company Caddy, which is known as being one of the biggest fabricant and distributor of trolley in Europe. The Caddy company invests about 15 million euros in this product and get a return on investment about 10 million euro within a year. The Win trolley cost about 150 euro each to the retailers, which is about 30% higher than a regular trolley price. But according to the retailers, the investment is worth it because it increases the shopping experience of the customer, and therefore it increases also the average earning of the supermarket as well. So now let's talk a bit about the processing. Um, so basically, the way it works is that uh, first of all, the client will come to the grocery store and grab a trolley. After that, he will be able to log in into his internal portal by entering his information directly to the trolley screen. When he will log in his portal, he will get access to some information like some personal information like his grocery list, which will have been already uploaded in the system from his house. At the same times, uh, the system will help him to get the fastest itinerary to do his shopping based on the information submitted. In parallel, he will also get access to all the promotion of the product he needed. And every time the client will put a product in his trolley, the RFID system will register the item, and also the load cell will register the weight of the trolley itself. When the consumer will finish his shopping, he will directly go to the automatic cash register. The machine will be able to connect with the internal system of the trolley and to verify if the weight and the information of the trolley correspond to the same information of the internal systems of the automatic machine. If the match is correct, the client will be able to make the payment and go back home. Basically, the advantages for customers will be that is very time saving because the customer will not need to make a line to pay their bills. They will be able to make the payment instantly via a machine. They will be able to scan the product in order to know their price, expiry date, and additional information. They will have a clear picture about the item that they are willing to buy. They will know exactly in advance where the needed items are located. The customer will also make the shop be able to make the shopping link before going to store, and it will be uploaded directly to their account. The customer will be able to return a product without an issue since the e-receipt will be stored digitally in their personal email or in their account with stores. And finally, the customer will be able to use the software online tools to analyze their spending and budget better. So now for retailers, the main advantages is that it increases their sales. It also decreasing the number of staff needed, but at the same time, it increased the efficiency of customer services. It helps retailers to devise better marketing strategy. Uh, th- it helps store to be open virtually 24 hours a day, and it make the customer more loyal to the brand. On the other hand, the disadvantages is that it's very expensive to implement on a large scale. Therefore, it's difficult for small-scale vendor to implement. It requires constant battery backup, and some customers think that the internet system can violate their privacy. So now let's talk a bit about the impact of the project in the different departments of the business itself. First, for the human resources, it means an increase of the customer service itself, a decrease in the number of human resources employee, and an increase in the employee efficiency. For the accounting and finance, like we have already talked about, it means an increase in sales and some cost saving in long term. For the production, the RFID systems helps to improve the inventory process. It reduces the overhead and the cost of paper. And for the marketing, it helps customers to become more loyal to the brand. And the advertising 24/7 with internal portal uh, give a better connection between the consumer and the company. Let's talk a bit about the resource detail. First of all, we have the hardware component. Within that, we have the smart shopping trolley, composed of a customized trolley, a 4-inch LCD screen, a battery kit, a RFID scanner reader to be able to identify the to be able to identify the item, a load cell which will help us to give the weight of the trolley, a GPS RFID tracking system, and in total this will cost us about $164 for each unit. For the hardware component, we will also have an automatic cash register, which will cost about $10,000 each. We have also a software component, which will cost us about $1 million to implement. It will include the tag, the reader program, and everything about the installation. We also have a networking uh, component which will help which will help like the consumer to be able to connect to the portal and to have different information about the project also. If we look at the cost and benefits for the 10 stores, we can see that the trolley itself will cost us about $410,000 to produce. The automatic cash and register will cost us about $500,000. The software and materials will cost us about $10 million. The networking program will cost us about $1 million for a total of about $12 million of initial investment. To be sure that the project to be sure to that the project will be a success, the company approved a budget of $15 million for the initial investment. The benefit, according to a French study, will come from the consumer expense, which will increase about 25%, and the reduce of cost of about 3%. Of about 3%. So if we take a look in the cost and benefit analysis spreadsheets over 6 years, we can see that the main benefit will come from the profit due to consumer expenses, the improvement of productivity, the cost savings in staff over staff downsizing, the reduce in product lost, the profit due to less paper usage. For the relevant cost, we can say that is the initial investment, of course, the maintenance of cost, the operational cost, the training cost, and the market research expense over the year. Um, if we that will lead us to our net income after depreciation and taxation of $300,000 for the first year, 4.8 million the second year, 9.3 million the third year, $11.9 million the fourth year, 14.8 million the fifth year, and finally $16.2 million the sixth year. With a discount rate of 10%, it gives us a payback period of 3.05 years, a net present value of $22.69 million, an internal rate of return of 40%, and the profitability index of 2.5. Now let's make a sensitive analysis of the different case possible. First of all, let's talk about the worst scenario possible. If which will happen if the investment increase of 25%, the profitability decrease of 20%, and the discount rate increase of 50%. That will lead us to a net income of $100,000 for the first year, 5.5 million for the second, 7.5 million for the third, 9.6 for the fourth, 12 for the fifth, and 13.3 million for the last year. It will if the discount rate increase of 50%, it means that it will become 20%. The payback period will decrease. Therefore um, increase to become 3.72 year. The NPV will become 0, which means that the project don't give us any profitability. The internal rate of return will become 20%, and the profitability index will uh, decrease to become 1.15. Now let's make a sensitive analysis of the different scenario possible. First of all, the case one, which is the worst scenario possible, is an investment if it is in uh, if the initial investment increase of 25%, and the profitability decrease of 20%, and the discount rate is 15% over that it is now. That will lead us to a net income of 0. $1,000 for the first year, 5.5 thousand dollars for the second year, 7.5 for the third, 9.6 for the fourth, 12 for the fifth, and 13.3 million dollars for this last year, for a discount rate of 20%, a payback period of 3.72 year, NPV of 0, an internal rate of return of 20%, and a profitability index of 1.5. As we can see, the NPV is now 0, so it means that the we don't get any benefit of the project. Now let's take a look of a second scenario, which is the best case possible. It will happen with when if the profitability increase of 10% and the cost of workforce reduce of 5%. That will give us a net income of $400,000 for the first year, 6.1 for the second year, 8.2 for the third year, 10.5 for the fourth year, 13.1 for the fifth year, and 14.4 for the last year. That will, considering a discount rate of 10%, it will give us a payback period of 3.03, which is less than the normal projection. NPV of 25.2, which is more than the normal projection, and internal rate return of 40%, sorry, which is obviously more than the projection, and a profitability index of 2.7. In conclusion, we can say that even if the cost of investment can be high in the beginning, and the return on investment can take a bit of time, it's a good investment for the company, because it increases substantially the earning of the company in long term and lead to cost reduction. The recommendation I can make is that we have to reassure the consumer on the privacy issue, and we have to put priority on more research and development to improve the power system.